Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.
I'd like to call to order the Neenah Common Council meeting for May 4th, 2022. All appropriate notices have been given. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll. Please indicate your presence when your name is called and register that on your roll call device.
Alderperson Boyette.
Here.
Orchard.
Here.
Hillstrom.
Here.
Lendrum.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
Skirms.
Here.
Steiner.
Here.
Stevenson.
Here.
A quorum is present. The Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue Honor Guard will now present the colors. Please rise. Join.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you all for joining us this evening. It's a very special night with at council tonight with a lot of recognitions and awards being given, and we're just very grateful that you've joined us this evening for that. We first will have the distinct honor of swearing in new Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue firefighters and a new assistant chief. We as a city are incredibly grateful for all you do, and we sincerely appreciate your dedication to serving both Neenah and Menasha. I'm going to turn it over now to Fire Chief Kevin Clone to conduct the swearing-in ceremony and then the recognition of promotions for their department.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. For swearing in, I will have Assistant Chief Dorn, Firefighter Bennett Krings, and Firefighter Max Schmidt come down for the swearing in. And Devon, yes. Sorry, Devon. However,
In the past, we've done one at a time.
okay,
so.
we can do one at a time, and
Okay.
then we'll have the 3 stand to the side.
Adam, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Adam Dorn, having been appointed Assistant Chief of Fire Prevention, Fire Marshal of the Neenah Fire Rescue, Winnebago County, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of Assistant Fire Chief to the best of my ability. So help me.
So today is a fitting day. I don't know who planned this, but it is National Firefighters Day, so this is a perfect evening for this event. So thank you, whoever planned this. So as we continue, we'll be pinning of the badge. So just a little bit about Assistant Chief Dorn. Assistant Chief Dorn was hired just recently here in February of 2022, and tonight he's here with his wife Seda and many members of his family. His mom is here, one of his uncles, some family friends, and so we thank them for being with us tonight. Chief Dorn came to us from the Fitchburg Fire Department, which is down by Madison, where he had 15 years of service. Adam was a firefighter, inspector, driver, and a lieutenant, and he helped with their public education program, inspection program, fire investigations, was a safety consultant for the Alliant Energy Center. In addition, he assisted the Watertown Fire Department with their inspection program, and Adam was one of our first interns when we merged with the Neenah Fire Department. So back in 2003, and we're glad he found his way back, and tonight his wife Seda will be pinning his badge. Next, we'll have Firefighter Bennett Krings come forward.
And if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Bennett Krings, solemnly swear to my duty as firefighter for the cities of Neenah and Winnebago and Calumet, to the best of my ability. Serve my commanding officers with respect and dignity. Serve the citizens, the cities of Neenah and Menasha, with compassion, courage, integrity, and to uphold the laws, constitutions of the United States of America, the state of Wisconsin, and the cities of Neenah and Menasha, to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Bennett is here tonight with his mom, Jessica, his dad, Ryan, who is a shift commander with Neenah Fire. And Bennett was an intern with us just as recently as 2021 and graduated from Fox Valley Tech in the spring of 2021. He has done paid on-premise firefighter for De Pere Fire and volunteered for Winneconne-Poygan Fire Department and part-time firefighter at Fond du Lac Fire. He's almost completed his paramedic program and looks forward to that being done, right, Bennett? And tonight, his mom, Jessie, will be pinning his badge. Next, we'll have Firefighter Max Schmidt come forward.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, Max Schmidt, solemnly swear to do my duty as firefighter for the cities of Neenah, Winnebago, and Calumet to the best of my ability. To serve my commanding officers with respect and serve the citizens of the cities of Neenah and Menasha with compassion, courage, and to uphold the laws, the Constitution of the United States of America, the state of Wisconsin, the cities of Neenah and Menasha. Best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
So Max is here tonight with his fiancée, Allie, and this is going to sound very familiar. Max was an intern at NMFAR in 2021, graduated from FVTC in spring of 2021. He was a paid on-premise firefighter for De Pere, volunteered at Winneconne-Poygan, and was a part-time firefighter for Fond du Lac.
Wow.
And he's almost completed his paramedic program. And I bet you're looking forward to it, right? So tonight, his fiancée, Allie, will be pinning his badge. Next, we have Devon Nicodem.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Devon Nicodem, do solemnly swear to do my duty as firefighter for the cities of Neenah and Menasha, Winnebago, and Calumet to the best of my ability. To serve my commanding officers with respect and duty. Serve the citizens of the cities of Neenah and Menasha with compassion, courage, integrity, and to uphold the laws, the Constitution of the state of the United States of America, the state of Wisconsin, and the cities of Neenah and Menasha to the best of my ability. So help me. Congratulations.
So Devon is here tonight with his wife Jenna and their young son. Devon began his full-time firefighting career 4 years ago with Stevens Point Fire and has previous years of firefighting experience at another department and has made a lateral transfer to our department in April. Devon has assured me that his wife that this is his last probationary year with the fire department and that we're very happy he chose NMFR as his final department to finish his career at. His wife Jenna will be pinning his badge.
Oh.
Before you guys sit down, I think Mayor Lang and Alderman Stevenson would like to congratulate you as well. As you all know, with retirements come promotions. So tonight we are here to recognize a few promotions from our fire department. So tonight the first one will be Shift Commander Troy Jans. Troy is here tonight with his wife Stacy and one of his sons Kellen, who is also a Menasha police officer. Troy began his career in February of 1992 and has been a firefighter, shift inspector, driver, captain, and again now shift commander. Troy has been very instrumental in our public education program, where you may have seen him on some Facebook fire safety videos he had put together. Please join me in congratulating Troy on his promotion to shift commander. Next, we have Captain Nick Brodigum. Nick could not be here tonight, but Nick started his career in May of 2000 and has been a fire inspector and now promoted to captain. Nick is one of our SCBA techs, where he does all our fit testing of all our masks, so we congratulate Nick. So this might sound familiar, but I also have a Nick Mostick, who has been promoted to captain. And tonight, Nick is here with his wife Erin, son Caleb, and his daughter Della, and also his parents. Nick began his career in May of 2000 and has been a firefighter, driver, and now has been promoted to captain. Nick is also one of our SCBA techs, and he does all our fit testing for all our masks. Tonight, his father Jim will be pinning his captain's badge.
It'll stay on.
It will definitely stay on. It is, yeah. Next, we have Scott Harding. Scott began his career in June of 2006 and was a firefighter until his promotion to driver. Scott has been very involved with our EMS committee and helped guide us through COVID and through all regulations involving EMS. In addition, he's involved in our public education team and our truck committee. Please join us in congratulating Scott and his promotion to driver. Our last promotion tonight is Jaime Martinez. Jaime is here tonight with his wife Lacey, his son Julius, and his mom Lupe. Jaime started his career with NMFR in February of 2015. Jaime was a firefighter until his promotion to shift inspector, and Jaime is involved with our honor guard, is a member of our public education team. So please welcome and congratulate Jaime on his promotion to shift inspector. Thank you, Mayor and Alderman Stevenson.
Is mic on? No. Is it? Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't want to blow on it. Thank you again. We just so deeply appreciate all that Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue does for the city of Neenah. So thank you again. Your efforts are not going unnoticed. Thank you. The next item of business will be recognizing some of the milestone anniversaries that we will be are celebrating tonight. So I will list your names, and then you can come forward for a certificate recognizing your milestone anniversary. So first, Jim Bentel from Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue. Next, Kathy Engelbreath from Community Development. This is 25-year anniversaries. I'm sorry, I failed to mention that. It's quite an accomplishment. Next, Amos Mickelson for Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue. Rick Meverden was unable to attend tonight, but that was community development. Also, Mike Thomas was unable to attend from the library, and Al Rabluski from Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue. He is not able to attend tonight. Our 30-year milestone anniversaries, Troy Jans, Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue. Also celebrating his 30-year anniversary is Kevin Clone, Neenah Menasha Fire Rescue. Next, we'll be presenting the Exemplary Performance Award for the city. This year, we are recognizing 14 employees that were nominated for Exemplary Performance Awards. These awards are given to employees who have gone above and beyond the scope of their role, whether through assisting with a large-scale project, using innovation and creativity to solve problems, or providing exceptional service to both internal and external constituents, among other things. The department head or staff who nominated them will share a few words as we recognize and thank them for their outstanding contributions to the city of Neenah. The first on our list is Samantha Jefferson, with Chris Hayes, Director of Community
I'm not
Development.
Samantha. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. For those... Okay. Just want to make sure you didn't run out on me. For those of the council members that have been here with the city for some time, I know that you're familiar with the Community Development Office Manager, Samantha Jefferson, and her exceptional workmanship. For those of you new to the council, I know that you too will come to know this quality and breadth of work that Samantha conducts on behalf of the city. Samantha is a very soft-spoken individual that seeks consensus with her friendly and welcoming personality. However, Samantha does have a mom voice, and like most mothers, she knows how to use it. As many of you know, Community Development conducted the code enforcement responsibilities for the city since the position was created a number of years ago, until we were able to convince police department to take it on. Prior to the transition, Katie Ostetler, our former code enforcement officer, left her position in early 2021. During that time, the city was experiencing a proliferation of yard signs, many of which remained after the contentious 2020 presidential election. At the direction of the Common Council, Community Development was charged with the task of resolving this issue, but with no code enforcement officer to lead the initiative, that the task would have proven to be very daunting, to say the least. However, Samantha Jefferson, under her own initiative, took it upon herself to lead the council's charge to bring compliance with this long-standing municipal code relative to the signs. Samantha coordinated a very rare citywide sweep, not only to log the number of illegal signs, but to avoid any accusations of inequitable enforcement. This effort led to an issuance of over 300 orders, due in part to Samantha's diligence and maybe a little mom's voice. Samantha was able to achieve 100% compliance with the orders, which is pretty remarkable. Since that time, Samantha has proven to be effective code enforcer on troubling issues we have had and experienced in other areas of the city, and has unfortunately spent her fair share of time in this chamber, which, as many of you know, also serves as our municipal courtroom. For her willingness to lead our sign code initiative and for stepping in to take on a very difficult job of code enforcement, job that is well outside the duties of an office manager, I'm honored to nominate Samantha Jefferson for this well-deserved Exemplary Performance Award. Thank you, Samantha.
Samantha said it was a blast.
Next, Finance Director Mike Easker will be presenting to Amber Adams and Jessica Stone.
Hello, everybody. We have two employees that work for our department that we have nominated for the Exemplary Performance Award. Two young ladies that are sitting right there, and a third young lady that I expect to see working for us in about 20 years. So, the first one is Amber Adams. Amber became assistant treasurer with the city, whose duties involve overseeing the city's day-to-day treasury functions. Amber started with us January 9th of 2020. Jessica Stone is our lead cashier, whose duties also include a number of administrative functions that are related to the operation of the Oak Hill Cemetery, and Jessica started with us November 9th of 2020. I want you to keep those dates in mind. So in the spring of 2020, a quick overview, the city had approved the purchase of the electronic form software called Seamless Docs, with the intention of converting numerous city forms and documents from a manual process to an electronic process to better serve our residents and businesses. The city had identified well over 100 of such forms, many of which were housed and the responsibility of the finance department. So keep in mind, Amber had started with us, and this is in April of 2021. Amber had been with us a little over a year. Jessica had been with us a little over 6 months. My experience in history is those folks maybe by then have learned where the lunchroom is, right? But that they are really just beginning to get a sense of what their job duties are, what the responsibilities are, how the city works, how the city functions, how it relates to its citizens and its businesses. So with those two relatively very new in their positions with the city, along with everything else they had going on, my expectation was that these form conversions that we had to do was not a particularly high priority, and that it would be part of a rather lengthy process. And I communicated to staff that I understood this work may need to take place over a period of time. Literally within days, and under Amber's initiative and direction, she and Jessica began to convert these forms one by one. Keep in mind that each form has its own purpose and process, making the conversion of each one unique. While some forms, such as the fire pit permits, are rather straightforward, others, such as pet licenses, property status forms, boat launch permits, as well as numerous cemetery-related forms, are quite involved with their own complexities. Within less than 8 months, and within their regular work schedule, Amber and Jessica had then converted upwards of 20 such manual forms to electronic, pretty much without a hitch, and much to the benefit of our residents and businesses. Clearly, this is the ideal illustration of the term exemplary performance, an employee going above and beyond the call to the benefit of the city and our citizens. So we are presenting and providing this exemplary award for them. Let me say one more thing. These two are also a living, breathing example of the type of new generation leadership and work ethic that we have emerging within the city. In looking at these two, you just know the city is going to be in good hands in the future. Congratulations.
Next, Chief Kevin Clone will be presenting the award to Tara Ellis.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I get started, I would just like to recognize, and I apologize for not doing that sooner, I have two fire commissioners here tonight, Mark Keating and Jeff Engelbert. So I just want to thank them for being part of our ceremony tonight. So I'd like to recognize Management Assistant Tara Ellis this evening. And as you're well aware, this is not Tara's first time to receive this award. And so that shows you how much she means to NMFR and to our admin staff. So Tara is here tonight with her husband Jeff, her son Gabe, and her daughter Jenna. I don't even know where to start because Tara she does everything for us. But I'll get started with the Recruit Academy. The Recruit Academy happened about 3 years ago, and it was with the city of Oshkosh, and then the second year was with the town of Grand Chute Fire along with us. Tara single-handedly coordinated the whole process of job performance requirements, collecting the books and all the paperwork that goes with it. She met with all the other management assistants for both departments, kind of laid out how the process would go, and then periodically steps into that academy and goes over that book with the recruits to make sure they're keeping up with their tasks. So she does have a mom voice, and so people know that when Tara comes out to Station 31, those books better be in line. So, but other than the Recruit Academy, she coordinates all the events for our public education. So you can imagine not just one city, but two cities. She's receiving calls from all the schools, coordinating the times for our public education team to go to the schools to perform our public education and other events with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. And so she does that as well. And this year, we have taken on a new task of new software. So we've had the same software for over 30 years, and we are trying to find another software package. And so Tara, immediately, I'm gonna help you do this, and been instrumental in learning our scheduling, because scheduling goes along with our payroll. So she wanted to make sure she fine-tuned the payroll system and has been instrumental in getting out to the stations to teach our crews. So I can go on. I think we all know that what value Tara brings to our department. I can't imagine ever losing Tara from NMFR, so I would like to welcome her and to give this award to her. Next, I have Deputy Chief Shane Krieger. And I know Director Easter talked about timelines. Shane is here, with his wife Shelley tonight. But Shane was hired as an assistant chief just a year and a half ago in January. And he came to us from the Clintonville Fire Department and as a regional manager for our Marion Body Works. So Shane filled in as the fire marshal and had to get acclimated to being part of a career department and working on the fire inspections and the new buildings that are going up in both cities, and being able to manage those inspections and the different testing that goes on as the new buildings progress. He's managed our inspections, our fire inspectors, training of our new firefighters and fire investigations, managing the flow testing on the new buildings. And then Deputy Chief Voss retires. And so we're out a deputy chief. We needed to order a truck. We have maintenance going on usually daily with our apparatus. And Shane quickly stepped into that role without knowing he was going to be the deputy chief, and just quickly took on those tasks. I can't say enough about how quickly Shane was acclimated to our department, was able to take over, ordered a new engine right after Deputy Chief retired. He's ordered some other staff vehicles because that's his comfort zone. Those are one of the things that he did prior to becoming our assistant chief on the fire department. So he was actually managing two positions at the same time. So assistant chief and the deputy chief role. And the one thing I have to say about him, we're very lucky to have Shane. Within a few months, and this position came open, the deputy chief spot, he fits in very well when the staff was telling Shane to apply for the deputy chief job. That says a lot about Shane, his character, and how well he fits into our department. So tonight, I'd like to welcome Shane in receiving this Exemplary Employee Award.
Next, Finance Director Mike Easker will be saying some words about Gina Durkin, who was unable to join us tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Julie Rosenow is our utility billing coordinator, works within the finance department. And many of you may know or may not know that the city has been in the process of converting its utility billing software system to a new system over the past couple of years. And Julie had been working very closely with Gina from the Information Systems Department. And Julie nominated Gina for this Exemplary Performance Award. And she has asked me to read this on her behalf. Julie was not able to make it tonight. This is from, again, Julie Rosenow. Gina has been a complete godsend to me since we went live on the new billing system with getting water bills to print in-house and most recently tacking the tax certification letters for me. She created all the letters from scratch and handled the many tweaks and adjustments to correct anything that wasn't accurate as quickly as she could. The two of us have brainstormed many ideas over the past 6 months, and she always understands what I am trying to accomplish, making everything work so that the system performs as efficient as possible. So that is the backdrop for the award for Gina Durkin.
Next, Library Director Assistant Director Nicole Hardina Wilhelm will be presenting an award to Melissa Kasmer.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you for awarding Neenah Public Library Adult Services Librarian Melissa Kasmer with this Exemplary Performance Award. I believe her tireless efforts in promoting the library's fiction and movie collections have helped the Neenah Public Library be one of the top 10 circulating libraries in the state for years. To help patrons to discover new movies and to complement the print new DVD release flyer, she started Scoop Movie News. Using the online platform Constant Contact, she created an appealing newsletter highlighting upcoming movies and TV shows. Scoop Movie News, over the last several years, has kept patrons connected to the library and informed them about new releases on DVD. Patrons appreciated the ease of placing holds through the newsletter. Throughout her 23-year tenure with the city, Melissa has looked for opportunities to promote the library's adult fiction collection as well. She has kept patrons informed about new releases with first-in-line emails, bestseller lists, attractive displays, handouts, and spot-on reader's advisory. Using Facebook Live and Zoom, in October 2020, she started the monthly video podcast, The Next Chapter, with 3 other library staff members. Each month, the 4 of them highlight upcoming books. Wanting to reach even more patrons, she created the monthly The Next Chapter e-newsletter. Her efforts through Scoop Movie News and The Next Chapter reach almost 9,000 patrons. Thank you for giving me the opportunity tonight to highlight Melissa's outstanding work, and congratulations, Melissa, on receiving this award.
Lisa Lux Robach was nominated, and okay, thank you. Director Gretchen Robb will be presenting that, even though she was unable to attend.
Right. Thank you, Mayor. Nancy Baird, the library's Circulation Services Manager, nominated the library's volunteer coordinator, Lisa Laux Robach, for this year's Exemplary Performance Award. Neither Nancy nor Lisa could be here this evening. As luck would have it, Lisa is at a Wisconsin Volunteer Coordinators Conference this week. Our volunteers are vital to our organization. At any one time, we have between 60 and 100 active volunteers. Our volunteers shelve over half of the materials returned to the library. They help with special projects, pull items to fill holds, search for missing books, sort donated books for the Friends of the Library book sale, and assist with summer lunch programs held at the library. Lisa, our volunteer coordinator, recruits, trains, schedules, advocates for, and ensures that volunteers are recognized and appreciated for their work. As part of our regular volunteer recognition program, Lisa plans, organizes, and hosts the annual Volunteer Appreciation Picnic. For several years, the picnic was held at the Whiting Boathouse, but we quickly outgrew that site. Picnics have most recently been held at the library's Shattuck Community Room. But with the pandemic and with cases running too high to meet in a group, Lisa devised a volunteer appreciation drive-through event. The drive-through event took place last October, and the volunteers collected their catered picnic bag lunch at the library through our curbside service. Lisa brought the lunches out to the waiting vehicles. Each gift bag included a handwritten thank you note and gift certificates. The volunteers were very complimentary and appreciative. Lisa is a wonderful employee. She is organized, thoughtful, and gracious, and Nancy and I are honored to nominate her for this award. Thank you.
The next award is for Laurie Ann Snow, nominated by Katrina Wolf.
Hi. So, God, I'm short. Okay. Laurie Ann is always ready to jump in when needed. She volunteers for special projects, and she's a great performer, bringing energy and enthusiasm to everything that she does. That's not why she's getting the award tonight, though. I just wanted to say that. It makes her a fantastic librarian. However, tonight I am giving her an award because she single-handedly created a beautiful passion project she created from scratch, brought it all the way through. So Laurie Ann started at the library right at the beginning of the pandemic, and her response to social distancing and ideological divides was to create a community-wide collaborative art project. This mixed media collage is of a tree growing on a grassy hill overlooking water at sunset. You gotta come to the library and check it out, it's gorgeous. So she solicited over 560 submissions by working with community members, by doing library programs where kids got to make art. She worked with Neenah Joint School District, Youth Go, the Y, Neenah Arts Council, all kinds of organizations. So, and then she also single-handedly combined all of these submissions into a beautiful and amazing piece of art that really does show how connected we all are despite our differences. And it will be in the library on show indefinitely, so come check it out. And, oh, and I forgot to mention, so she did this all while doing story times, family programs, collecting books for homeschool collections, managing all of our toys and manipulatives that get checked out, and she's part-time. So, so Laurie Ann, I, the library, and the community really want to commend you for all of your hard work, and thank you for this wonderful contribution to our community.
Next, Stephanie Schott, nominated Jim Kluge.
Switch it up a little bit, tag team this effort. Stephanie Schott, our recreation supervisor, nominated Jim Kluge. Jim exemplifies the idea of a model employee. He is an outstanding individual. I can't emphasize enough, both personally and professionally. Jim is that person that every office environment needs. He's a little funny. He's a little serious. He's a little crabby at times, which I love, because that's me all the time. But so it just makes him an awesome person to have in the environment. He just brings that enthusiasm as well. But for the specifics of the nomination, I'll turn that over to Stephanie.
Thank you. So overall, we made the decision to nominate Jim because he's a person who can demonstrate leadership through his actions. He is always encouraging and seeking growth personally and professionally for himself and for others. Jim does not look at failure as a negative. Instead, he sees it as a chance to learn something new and experience a new opportunity. He puts in countless hours preparing and planning for current and future events and is always trying to stay up to date on current park and recreation trends. Jim is always looking for creative opportunities to help support our department and community, like creating a sponsorship program which allows local businesses to help support different program and events which help offset our program expenses. He's a perfect example of someone who always shows up to support his staff and coworkers and truly cares about us, putting others above his own needs. Jim has earned the respect of all staff in our department due to his passion, dedication, and leadership. Jim, we thank you for everything you do for our city and our department. Thanks.
Next, the Neenah Police Department Command Staff nominated Laurie Krieger.
Laurie is the department's open records clerk and accreditation manager, which is a key member of the agency. This position must accurately, consistently, and in a timely manner provide the public with open record access to records regarding activities of the police department and its employees whenever such records do not exceed laws and active investigations. Laurie has taken this position to the next level based on her motivation and her attitude to excel. An average request can create countless hours of researching reports and media and generate multiple responses. The expectation is that we provide a response within 10 business days, but typically the response from Laurie is within 24 hours from the initial receipt of the request. This is definitely a monumental standard, and we applaud her for her dedication to duty. There are over 550 law enforcement agencies within the state of Wisconsin, and only 7% are accredited through the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Accreditation Group. The Neenah Police Department received the inaugural accreditation in January 2019. Every 3 years, the department must undergo a recertification process to verify that we're maintaining the hundreds of standards put forth by the Commission. This January, the department was awarded its first reaccreditation status based on the efforts of the department's 3-person accreditation team, whom Laurie is part of. Laurie's dedication is one of the reasons the department obtained this title. Also, Laurie is the handler for Canine Badges. Badges is the department golden doodle that provides companionship and stress relief to staff members in the community. Laurie's devoted training, Badges has helped countless people turn difficult times into smiles and joy. In closing, Laurie is a credit to the department. We'd like to recognize her for her good work ethics, steadfast productivity, and diplomatic customer service skills. It is an honor that we have a person of our caliber within our ranks. Thank you, Laurie, and I'm proud to provide you with this award.
Next, Christine Maschke will be receiving an award nominated by the Neenah Police Department Command Staff.
Christine has only been employed with the City of Neenah for less than a year, but handles situation, coordinates events, and provides top-notch customer and employee service like a true veteran professional. Christine's positive energy and enthusiasm motivates others and sets a good example. She demonstrates a high level of commitment and is consistently searching for feedback to improve her daily activities. Christine is very diplomatic and strives to acquire the best candidates for the City of Neenah. She has worked with the police department on many occasions, hiring community service aides, professional staff members, and police officers. Not only within the ranks of the law enforcement realm, but across all professions, it is getting harder and harder to find qualified and motivated new employees. Christine has the skill set and attitude to search for eligible candidates and makes the City of Neenah a great place to live, work, and play. On behalf of the police department, I would like to thank her for her assistance, her fantastic energy, and her commitment to the cause. It is an honor for us that you received this award because you are truly a lighthouse, a glimmer of light in a storm, searching the seas for that ship who is our next good employee.
The command staff will be presenting an award to Amanda Moe.
I would like to commend evidence custodian Amanda Moe for her professionalism, organization skills, and devotion to the police department and the city of Neenah. Amanda is responsible for the department's evidence vault, which obtains thousands upon thousands of items of evidence. These items range from hair fibers to DNA samples, to firearms, to illegal narcotics, to slot machines and automobiles. These items must be maintained systematically, which requires a high level of discipline and attention to detail. Evidence collection, chain of custody, laboratory testing, and disposition administration are key elements in any criminal case. That is why this position is so valuable. Amanda oversees the department drug drop box. This container is the proper location to dispose of prescription drugs. Just in 2021 alone, Amanda supervised the destruction of 663 pounds of controlled and over-the-counter substances. Amanda is also a certified property and evidence specialist. Based on the criteria for this designation, Amanda is only one of about 2,000 professionals worldwide that holds this distinction. In 2021, Amanda received close to 1,600 new items into her evidence vault. This is on top of the many thousands of items that go as far back as 1984, and the evidence that is constantly moved for investigations, scientific analysis, and court proceedings. The whereabouts of every item must be known at all times to maintain proper chain of custody. To maintain high standards and accountability, scheduled and unannounced random inspections are performed throughout the year. Each one of these assessments, Amanda is credited with superior ratings, which is based on her management effectiveness and extraordinary organizational skills. Amanda's distinguished characteristics are a true example of a proficient and methodical professional that represents her highly accountable responsibilities and duties within the Neenah Police Department. Thank you, Amanda, for the amazing job, all that you do, and you are truly deserving of this award.
Next, Police Chief Aaron Olson will be presenting the award to Tom Van Sambeek.
Thank you, Mayor. If anyone can tell, it just got really hot in here because Tom is piercing my skull with his eyes because he is not happy that I nominated him. So, on the mayor's behalf, sorry. So I'm going to keep this short. To have a successful organization, if you've read the book Good to Great by Jim Collins, one of the tenets is to have the right people in the bus. Well, Tom is one of those people, along with all of our other staff. But one of the things to take it a step further is not just to have the right people in the bus, but to have the right people in the right seats. And Tom is definitely one of those people. When it comes to technology and policies, he is amazing. He's the man. If we have a question, department-wide, Tom is the person we go to. So whether it's implementation of the Dragon software, the flock cameras, any policy, or anything else, he's the person in the seat of our bus at the police department driving that and make sure that everything that we implement is 100% successful, and he's phenomenal at it. So with that, I'm going to stop talking because he's glaring at me because he's not very happy with me. But on behalf of the police department, thank you very much, Tom, and all the other Neenah Police Department staff. Thank you.
I got permission from the mayor just to say a couple short words. We as city council members interact quite frequently with the public on all kinds of issues. And a lot of the times when we're interacting with the public, they're complaining about the road, or they're this, or they're that. And so what we typically do is fall back to staff and ask the staff to provide us with data or to take care of the issue, right? And a night like tonight makes me, and I'm sure other council members, appreciate even more the quality of the staff that we have here in the city of Neenah. So to those that got honored tonight, congratulations. And to those that didn't get honored, you're just as valuable. And we appreciate all of you for all the work that you do on behalf of the citizens. So thank you.
I feel like you made the microphone taller. I just want to also thank each and every one of you recipients of the Exemplary Performance Award. You are what makes Neenah such an exceptional community, and we just thank you for all your extra effort, all that you're putting in every single day, so thank you. Next, we would like to recognize 2 employees who have recently retired, and we sincerely thank them for their years of service and wish them all the best in their retirement. I don't believe either one of them are here tonight, but they are Michael Nicolai, a mechanic in the Department of Public Works with 27 years of service, and Joni Hines, administrative assistant to the mayor, who had 6 years of service. So thank you very much to both of them. That concludes sort of the special parts of our meeting tonight, and we'll now be proceeding with the regular business of the meeting. We'll just let some of our attending guests exit for a minute. Moving on to item number 2. Is there any objection to unanimous consent of the appointments that are being made? Seeing none, that's so ordered. The next item is approval of the council proceedings. Is there any objection to unanimous consent of the approval of the council proceedings of April 19th, 2022? Seeing none, that's so ordered. Next, we'll open the public hearing regarding ordinance number 2022-11, amending section 26-349 of the Neenah Municipal Code pertaining to the Bridgewood Planned Development District Master Plan to change the use of former nine-hole golf course to a multifamily residential use. Speakers who would like to say something during this time should give their name and residential address, not mailing address, and are allowed 5 minutes to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mayor Lang. My name is Jim Wise, 1204 Cameron Circle, Bridgewood, here in Neenah. Coming to speak a little bit about the goings-on there. We're in the middle of a new apartment complex that's coming over there. It looks very good, by the way. It looks very good. I think most of the residents are very happy about it. We know we're not going to have a golf course anymore, and that was sad, but it goes on, and this looks like a very good, I know Mr. Van Dionk, what he has done for other communities, and it's very good. One of the things that we are concerned, one of the members of our residents are concerned about is the there's going to be a new bridge, I believe, coming across that goes from Jewelers Park into this new complex. And it looks like it's going to be a little farther south of the original Bridgewood Golf Course Bridge. The problem that they see, and I can relate to it, is that that is a great noise barrier. We don't have many noise barriers there, and that one's a very good one. All the woods in there, and it looks like a lot of that probably will come down. Now, I know it's probably mostly buckthorn and ash, and being on the Parks and Rec Commission, that was one of our worst enemies, so that could go anyway. But anyway, if you would consider maybe moving it back up a little bit farther north to the former location of the original bridge, I appreciate you thinking about that. And that's all I have. If you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak during the public hearing? Seeing no one, we'll move on to item number 5, the Plan Commission report pertaining to the public hearing. The meeting was held on April 26th. Alderman Steiner will be giving that report.
Thank you, Mayor. Public hearing was held in regards to the Bridgewood Plan Development District Master Plan Amendment, with specific emphasis on amending the master plan to change the use of the 9-hole golf course to a multifamily residential development. Questions related to the development were addressed during the public hearing, and upon closure of the public hearing, the Plan Commission moved to recommend that the council approve ordinance number 2022-11, amending the Bridgewood PDD master plan to change the use of the former 9-hole golf course to multifamily residential use. The motion passed with all saying aye. That concludes my report.
Would you like to make a motion to recommend that to council? Is there a second?
Seconded.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? Alderman Stevenson?
Yep, thank you. Chris, Director Hayes, could you comment, please, on the action that ordinance 2022-11, what passing of that ordinance does as it relates to the final location for site plan approval regarding location of a bridge, any incremental bridge?
Sure. The action that's in front of you now is simply a rezoning, and it would identify the future, because of the planned development district, it would identify the planned use of that area. However, the detailed project plan, if you will, what we commonly refer to as the site plan, would come forward as a project plan amendment via Plan Commission and Council. So those details, the exact location of the buildings, the exact location of the bridge, landscaping, lighting, all those types of details will come forward with that approval.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are there any further questions? If not, we have a motion and a second. Please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0. Next is the opportunity for our public forum. If you're interested in speaking on any topic this evening, please give your name and residential address, and you're allowed to speak for 5 minutes on any topic. Is there anybody here who would like to speak in the public forum? Seeing no one, we will move on to item number 8. Is there any objection to unanimous consent of the consent agenda?
Mayor Lang, I have an objection to C and D at this time.
Okay. Okay. So we will just be moving forward with A and B. Any objection to moving forward with A and B? Seeing none, that's so ordered. Item number 9, reports of the standing committees, and we will have moved those 2 items into this report as well. That report will be given by Chairman Lendrum.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you like me to address those 2 first? Anytime? Okay, let's do that. Let me address the 2 items in the consent agenda that have been removed. And I will, hold on one second, just let me read them. So letter C, approve the street use permit for the summer kickoff concert sponsored by Future Neenah, 135 West Wisconsin Avenue, to be held on June 15th, 2022, from 6 to 8.
So you should move to approve it and then
Okay,
someone...
and I would so move.
Is there a second?
This isn't on there because it's.
So,
So we'll just take...
okay.
I'll second.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, discussion.
I read through the minutes and I was a bit confused. I had a conversation with the executive director of Future Neenah. I still have a couple of things I'm not clear about. From the note, from the minutes, it appears that both these items were tabled. There's not a recommendation to approve. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. So what was tabled was their liquor license application. So the event is one separate item. They have to have the events approved, and then they also have to have a picnic license, a liquor license approved. The events were both approved at committee.
Okay.
Both liquor license applications were tabled because Future Neenah has to come back with new applications that meet the state law.
Okay. Well, the confusion I had was it's 2 events. One's the 100 block, one's the 200 block. Designated vendors selling alcohol within the confines. What I'm not clear on is the other establishments that sell liquor in their places of business. They can do so, but they can or cannot have alcohol on the sidewalk immediately in front of their premises.
So we did address that. The city attorney did address that. The current vendors, anyone that wants to open, can serve their food and alcohol on their own footprint. The ones that are not approved to be selling in the street. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't mean to be picky, but their footprint, the minutes say their building, so that is or is not sidewalk.
Their building and their extension out on, for their front extension patio.
Each place has their own footprint. So for example, Greens has extended onto the sidewalk for a sidewalk cafe type of thing. Some of the establishments have that included in their liquor license with the city already.
Okay.
Some of them do not. So wherever they can sell alcohol today, or serve alcohol today, they would be able to serve alcohol the day of this event.
Okay.
But not anywhere that they couldn't do it on any other day.
Okay, then my final question is, how do we enforce that? Because last year there were no issues, and I think it was a great event, the boogie one. But, open carries, how do we police that? And I know the establishments are responsible for that, but.
So there was quite a bit of discussion during the meeting about that. And the establishment themselves they are responsible for enforcing their own rules, our own rules. And whether they have maybe glass cups or however they want to do that, because their liquor license would be at risk if they didn't establish it as it stands right now. So, and they are aware of that.
All right, well, I'm pleased with the new iteration of this. It's nice that we're using downtown vendors to sell, and I think it's an improvement over last year. So I just had some concerns. That's why I asked for it to be discussed. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
we need to take a vote then?
No, we have
On that?
another question.
Okay.
Alderman Boyette?
Thank you. My question is this: if an establishment does not currently have that outdoor license, this isn't for a while yet, so would they have the opportunity to get that, apply for it and approved prior to this date? Or are we going with what's approved now at the date of this being accepted?
So if any establishment in the city wants to change their footprint, there is a process that they have to go
Correct.
through with the city clerk's office.
Yep.
Depending on how quickly they move, it can take anywhere from the 2 weeks to get through council to 4 weeks, 6 weeks, however long it takes. So any establishment in the city can change their, apply to change their footprint whenever they want. So can't yes or no to that. Well, the first event is in June, right?
Right.
So
So it's not
Maybe.
according to the date this is?
No.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second on that item pulled out of the consent agenda, number C, which was approve the street use permit for the summer kickoff concert to be held on June 15th. All right, we'll do a voice vote on that. All in favor of that passing will say aye, all opposed will say nay.
Aye.
Aye. I'm sorry, any nays? It passes unanimously. Then, item D.
Yep, item D. So I will, approve the street use permit for the Boogie Downtown, sponsored by Future Neenah, 135 West Wisconsin Avenue, to be held on August 24th, 2022, from 6 to 9 p.m., and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion by Lendrum, seconded by Skirms. Is there any discussion? Sure. Opposed? We'll conduct a voice vote on this one as well. All those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. That passed.
Okay,
Thanks, Mayor
moving
Beth.
on to reporting out of standing committees. I want to introduce myself as the new chair of the Public Services and Safety Committee, and the vice chair being our esteemed Alderman Lee Hillstrom. So minutes can be found on the city website. So number one, committee recommends council approve the Neenah Police Department to participate in the Winnebago County Speed Task Force 2022 Summer Speed Enforcement Grant from June 1st, 2022 to August 31st, 2022, with a target amount of $30,000 and with a 25% agency activity match to be funded with operating funds, and I would so move.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
Okay, number 2, committee recommends council approve the purchase of a 2022 Jacobson HR 800 16-foot wide area mower in an amount not to exceed $114,700 from Horse Distributing to be funded with 2022 capital improvement funds, and I would so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
And number 3, committee recommends council approve the proposal from UW Milwaukee in an estimated amount of $4,000 to conduct the on-site monitoring and reporting for the Kimberly Point Phase 1 project utilizing 2022 capital improvement dollars that are funded through the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA funds, and capital improvement carry forward reserve funds, along with the Information Services Smart Money, and I would so move.
Is there a second? Second by Steiner. Please is there discussion? Alderman Stevenson.
Yeah, Alderperson Lenjum and I spoke prior to the committee meeting, and there has been some discussion regarding the funding sources for the additional $18,009. And Carrie, I'm sorry, but I didn't recognize that this motion also includes a reference to capital improvement carry forwards. So I think if we're going to take action to utilize ARPA dollars for the entire project, it would be wise to do it now. So that's why I'm going to make a motion to amend. I'm going to amend the motion and not utilize capital improvement carry forward reserves, but instead additional ARPA dollars in the amount of $18,009.
Can you make that motion on your device?
Can I do that? 18009. The rationale being, if we're funding $175,000 of the project out of ARPA dollars, it seems consistent to fund the entire project out of ARPA dollars versus borrowed carry forward capital improvement dollars.
We just need a second.
Okay. So we're a little bit,
And I can second it, I just don't have a button to push.
but item number 3 is recommending council approve the estimated amount of $4,000 to conduct.
Right, so if you look at I don't have them in front of me. I do, actually. The funding mechanism that we discussed in committee shows $175,000 of 2022 CIP money, which was at that time funded through ARPA, an additional $6,000 to cover from information technologies, and an additional $18,009 of CIP reserve, facility reserves, which is borrowed dollars typically. And so this motion simply would fund the $18,009 the same way we funded the $175,000, which was through ARPA money.
So, again, because this is only $4,000, I'm confused where the 18,000. Do you just want to change the capital improvement?
Yeah, because we're referencing capital improvement dollars as the funding mechanism, we can't do that.
So
I don't think we want to do that. We want to reference it as we're going to do all ARPA dollars.
And I'm sorry, I believe we're talking about number 3 and number 4.
It's
correct?
3 and 4. And
Right.
Carrie and I talked about 4 because that's where the discussion came up in committee. But really, both projects are going to be funded through the entire 3 funding mechanisms, and we don't know which one's going to pay for what.
So really, your amendment is to make this $4,000, just looking at number 3, only out of ARPA.
Well, yeah, in essence, it's funding the entire project with ARPA.
The way that.
Yeah, because we reference in there, Adam, we reference in the motion that came from committee, we referenced utilizing capital improvement dollars because that's what the initial recommendation came from.
Correct.
So we're just deleting essentially, well, exactly, and capital improvement carry forward reserve funds along.
Yeah.
And just delete that. That's what this amendment is. And I'm sorry about the last minute. I don't usually do this, but this was sort of a last minute decision.
So you've made the motion to amend,
I have, yes.
And I'll second it.
so we'll take the vote on that amendment. Any further discussion on that? Is everybody clear? Then please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device.
So now we're back to the original motion.
That motion passes 8-0. Now we're back.
Amended.
Yep. Correct.
Original
And
motion
now
as
the-
amended.
Yep. Mhm. Is there any further discussion on that? Alderman Boyette, please.
I'm just curious where we're at with our balance on that ARPA.
We, if you recall, the city had about $5.5 million allotted to it. The 2022 budget, as approved, recognized that $1.3 million of that would be used to offset operating costs and removing some transfers in that the city had been using for that $1.3 million. The intent of at least Mayor Coffert's initiative at that time was to do that also for 2023 or 2023 and 2024, leaving the city about 1.2-ish million available for other things after we had applied ARPA funds to Kimberly Point, to Shattuck Park, and so on. This keeps us still over 1.2 million of those dollars, plus another 2.6 that the council and mayor will decide what to do with moving forward as well.
Thank you.
Alderman Steiner?
I was wondering, what's the scope of how we can use those ARPA funds? I mean, not a laundry list necessarily, but
Sure.
from a broad perspective.
Basically, the way this has evolved is the window was pretty small, and after many, many months of process, the window has gotten very big. We can pretty much use it for anything we want, other than paying off debt.
Thank you.
There's a motion and a second on that amended motion. Any further discussion? If not, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
Okay, moving on to number 4, and I do want to make everyone aware that Director Kading is here. So if somebody has a specific question on this, they can request to bring him up. So I was just notified by the city attorney I don't have to go through those same machinations about adding the amendment after the original motion, but I think I will still do that the original way for transparency for what transpired in public services and safety. So, but basically I'm going to be doing the same thing for this one. So committee recommends council approve the proposal from Parkitecture and Planning in the amount of $10,000 for the construction administration agreement for the Kimberly Point Phase 1 project utilizing 2022 capital improvement funds and capital improvement facility reserve funds. That was what was reported out, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Alderman Stevens.
Okay, and I'll make an amendment. And this is after Director Kading and Finance Director recommended this. This is not just Public Services and Safety. This is their recommendation. that, I'll make that amendment that we will be using ARPA, American Rescue Plan dollars rather than capital improvement reserve funds on this one also.
I'll second.
Giving the clerk. There's a motion by Lendrum, second by Stevenson to amend. Is there any further discussion?
We don't have the option of requesting to speak. I don't.
Well then.
Just to clarify,
Alderman
Carrie did a
Stevenson.
good job of explaining, in essence, same thing. Not going to use capital improvement facility reserves. We're going to use the same funding source that we used for the 2022 capital improvement item for this project, which is ARPA dollars.
Any further discussion? If not, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That amendment passes 8-0. And now for the amended motion that was moved by Lendrum and seconded by Stevenson. Just have to give our clerk a minute. There we go. Is there any further discussion on that? If not, please indicate your yes or no vote on your voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
And that is the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. The regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting will be reported by Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting out from the regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of April 25th, 2022. The minutes can be found on the city website. Item number 1, the committee recommends council approve amending TID 7 development agreement with Bridgewood Golf Course to allow development of the former Bridgewood Golf Course, and I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Erickson. Is there a second?
We don't have the ability to second.
There's a second by Alderman Boyette. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? Oh, sorry, Alderman Erickson.
I would just like to ask Director Hayes to explain this for the people who are viewing us and in the audience.
Sure. So when the original Bridgewood redevelopment occurred in 2002, there was a development agreement executed with the city of Neenah. At that time, the agreement specified that the 9-hole golf course was to remain as a public golf course as a condition of the agreement. The golf course, as we all know, closed 2 years ago, and this is essentially modifying that agreement to allow the development or redevelopment of the golf course.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Seeing none, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
Item number 2, the committee recommends council approve amending TID 7 development agreement with Bridgewood Golf Course to allow development of the former Fairway 9, and I so move.
Alderman Erickson moved, seconded by Alderman Borchert. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
And then item number 3, the committee recommends council approve TID 12, development agreement of the former Bridgewood Golf Course, and I so move.
Alderman Erickson moved, seconded by Alderman Skirms. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please indicate your yes or no vote on your electronic voting device. That motion passes 8-0.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. The regular Plan Commission meeting of April 26, 2022, those items were already acted upon under item number 5, the Plan Commission Committee Report. So moving on to item 10B, the Board of Public Works meeting of April 26, Acting Vice Chairman Hilstrom.
Thank you, Mayor. The minutes from this meeting can be found on the city website. This evening, there is one informational item and 2 council action items. The informational item is the board approved pay request number 1 in the amount of $118,697.75 to Yankee General Contractors for work completed on the Shattuck Park Fountain reconstruction project. The first council action item is board recommends council award contract 7-22 for Winneconne Avenue Bridge repair to Pfeiffer Brothers Construction in the amount of $217,847.10 using budgeted project funds and public infrastructure fund reserves. And I would so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Hilstrom, seconded by Alderman Borchert. Alderman Boyette?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just curious if someone could give us just a quick reference as to why the bridge repair is being.
Okay, sure. We have a few things going on that bridge based on the inspection reports that are done every few years by Winnebago County. And this is work that's getting us caught up in some of the issues that we've uncovered out there. First, we have a number of spots on the deck that have popped or delaminated, including a couple of fairly large areas, one on the north end that appears to be down to the steel in the bridge deck. So we want to get that area repaired. The second part of it, we noticed the symptom, and it took us a while to get the cause figured out. There's a column in the pier, so in the supports for the bridge, just west of the railroad tracks, and the concrete in that column is pulling away from the steel that is the main reinforcement for that deck, or for that column. So it's starting to delaminate. It actually sounds a little hollow when you tap it. So in looking at our options to make that repair, we worked with a firm to try and determine what the cause is, and the cause is actually up above in the bridge deck. There are expansion joints or expansion devices at each end of that westerly section of the bridge, and the expansion devices are allowing water to get down into the column, which is then expanding and creating that delamination. So we want to make a good repair on the column. In order to do that, we really need to address that expansion device on each end. So those are the main pieces of work.
Alderman Lundrum.
Thank you, Mayor. I hesitate to put Director Kaiser on the spot, but during that meeting, I found it very interesting that I believe it was the expansion joints, the price increase was pretty appalling, and I was wondering if you would address that. And the reason I'm bringing it up is we've got our capital improvement plan coming up, and I would guess that this is going to be not a new normal for everything with prices increasing like this, but I want to at least be prepared for some of the, probably in some cases, extreme price increases.
Okay, if that's the question to me, yeah, we are seeing, it's not necessarily across the board price increases, it's kind of, it tends to be kind of item specific. Some of the pipe pricing that we received, in our earlier contracts actually came in pretty well. The paving work that we'd let to this point, all came in really fairly close to where we budgeted. So that was good news. Obviously, in looking at this contract, and we worked with an engineering firm to assist with some of the structural side of this, since it's outside our normal realm. But we also contact contractors to get a feel for where pricing will be on some of these. Obviously, the expansion devices were well off the mark based on what we had looked into. And actually, that's the primary reason why this contract ended up well beyond budget.
Thank you.
Alderman Stevenson.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm reading Jerry's memo from April 21st to the members of the Board of Public Works, and the original bid amount, or the budget amount for this, $165,000, and our engineer's estimate calculation pre-bid came in at $194,000. So me being a layman would look at that and say, logic tells me that's the inflationary effect from 165 to 194. Anytime you're dealing with bridges, you're dealing with the unknown. And so from a layman's perspective, the difference between 194,250 and the actual low bid of 217,847 is additional incremental work that wasn't anticipated based on the findings we saw with the expansion joints and those kinds. Is that a fair assessment?
I would say it's, I think that's part of the answer. It's also the contractor's first clear opinion on how he has to proceed with the work on the bridge and what it's going to take to accomplish the results that we're looking for. So we may anticipate construction happening a certain way, which feeds how we estimate that work. The contractors, as boots on the ground, after they get plans and know exactly what we're specifying and what we want to have done, their bid is how that project is seen through their eyes.
Yeah, so what that tells me, and thank you for that answer, what that tells me is, so who is the engineer estimate done by? One of our staff people?
That's done by one of our staff people,
okay.
and we had some input from Westwood Infrastructure on that.
Okay, so the contractors saw the project, probably maybe even had somebody inspect it, I don't know, before they put their bid in, I don't know that. But again, bridge work is kind of, you're at the whim of condition of the bridge, and if you can't always see that. So, but I along with Alderperson Lenderman and Alderperson Boyette, I am continually concerned about utilization of undesignated fund balances. And this is just south of 53,000. And so that takes us below $3.3 million of reserves in that account. That's 1.5% of the existing balance. But so to the point, when the CIP comes, we have to watch and see what we're doing, and we have to continue to monitor and tell or challenge department heads to come up with the most cost-effective way to execute the 2022 capital budget.
Any further discussion? There's a motion and a second. Please indicate your yes or no vote on your device. That motion passes 8-0.
Item B in the council action items, I'd just like to ask Attorney Westbrook first about, do I need to read this as it's written, or can I just change it to the ARPA funds?
So you need to report out what happened, but your motion can be whatever you want your motion to be, but you need to report out what happened at committee.
Okay. Board recommends council award Kimberly Point Phase 1 construction contract, Martell Construction, Green Bay, in the amount of $165,669. From out of committee, it said utilizing 2022 CIP funding and CIP facility reserves, but that will need to be changed to ARPA funds. And I would so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Hillstrom.
Second.
Hillstrom, seconded by Alderman Stevenson. Is there any discussion? And that amended motion is corrected to be through ARPA. Being no further discussion, please indicate your yes or no vote on your device. It's just. Now you can. That motion passes 8-0.
That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you for your report. Alderman Steiner, don't believe there was a...
Correct. It's being scheduled in May.
Thank you for that, for landmarks. Alderman Borchert for the Sustainable Neenah Committee.
Yeah, we kicked off our Please the Bees initiative at our Arbor Day celebration. The Please the Bees initiative is going to be talking about finding ways to plant pollinators in your yards, finding different ways to increase the pollination of our Neenah bees, solely Neenah bees. Only Neenah bees. Also, the encouragement, I know we've had some commotion surrounding the no mow May, but what we are make people aware that they can allow their grass to grow to 8 inches, not a centimeter more. But that is another opportunity for people to take part of that initiative, and we'll be rolling out initiatives each month to inform the community about sustainability, how they can participate.
Thank you for your report. Next, the reports on neighborhood groups, the Business Improvement District Board, Alderman Skirms.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting out from the regular meeting of the Downtown Business Improvement District Board of April 19th. Minutes can be found on the city website. The Baker Tilly is in the process of conducting an audit. They were on site on March 31st. Final report has not been received yet, but based on the feedback they've provided, it appears that we'll have the option of doing annual reviews rather than a 3-year audit cycle. That's good news. The downtown annual meeting was held on March 15th at Future Neenah. It was a drop-in event, and it was very well attended. Upcoming things to keep an eye on, the maintenance committee, they will have a downtown walkthrough of the district on June 21st. So if you want to walk through garbage corrals and alleys and point out things that are good and bad, join us. A sign is being created with a camera smile here on camera sign for the Marketplace garbage corral to discourage our illegal dumpers. And also magnetic signs were created to put on the actual dumpsters to help people figure out what's recyclable and what's garbage. Spring Fling is this weekend downtown. You can win brunch for mom, gift certificate awards, so if you spend some money, you get a gift certificate. And new this year is the tree beds downtown, where we normally have flowers this year for between May 7th and June 11th. 30 beds downtown are being decorated by local businesses, so check it out. Some of them are pretty clever, some of them are already up. Log Your Loops has begun. How you doing, Lee?
Actually, it doesn't start till Memorial Day weekend. You can register now.
Register, yeah, but...
Knowing Lee's banking is
I'm
mild.
registered.
Farmers Market begins June 11th, so hopefully it'll warm up so that we'll have some produce. Retention Recruitment, their meeting was also held on the 19th. They had quite a bit of discussion around the grant program, and that's evolving. They're reevaluating that. Update on the spaces available downtown. You've noticed that the 224 building, formerly Subway, was recently purchased, and there is a lease in place, so coming soon there'll be a new business there, and very exciting. It's going to be a nice fit for downtown, so that's wonderful. The 201 building is making progress. I had a conversation with a developer today. I asked him what's taking him so long, and he said, it's difficult to place panels at that height with 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. I said, oh, okay, I wondered why your crane was sitting there and not being used. So, other update on that end is he hopes, expects, plans, don't hold him to this, but a completion by year end. That's sooner than I thought. That's good news. And Solaris is currently 66% leased. That ends my report.
Thank you for your report. Alderman Steiner, is there a report from Bergstrom Mahler Museum?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Reporting out on the Bergstrom Mahler Museum Board of Directors who met on Wednesday, April 27th. Just some of the great events that are coming up. There's a Crystal Ball Gala that will be held this weekend on Saturday, May 7th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's a wonderful fundraiser, no D, with live music, excellent food, and silent auction of glass art. Tickets are still available at $100 per person. The second year of Catching Fire, which is an artful benefit to support the museum with a silent online auction highlighting glass-based art by internationally recognized artists, is occurring June 1st to June 11th, and there will be a live auction occurring on June 8th, 7 to 8 p.m. We actually had a chance to preview some of the higher-end items, and they're pretty impressive, and they're actually really, really beautiful from an artist over in Europe. Currently on display is Mick Mullane's retrospective exhibition of Primordial Shift, featuring over 40 major works of Mick's from the 1970s to present day, including 3 major installation works. I'm actually planning on going there next week to check that out, probably bring the family, so I encourage everyone else to do so. And we also reviewed some preliminary drawings on some redesign that they're going to be looking at over the coming months to a year. So that concludes my report.
Thank you for your report. Alderman Erickson, is there a report from the Library Board?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Public Library Board of Trustees met Wednesday, April 20th. Two things I'd like to highlight from the meeting is the carpeting. New carpeting was installed on both the first and second floor of the library, and that is a major undertaking for the library, moving all of the books and all the shelving to get the library installed, but that has been completed. The next thing I'd like to highlight is a Scription service that has become very popular. You can register online at the Neenah Public Library, and every third Wednesday of the month, this service will select 3 books for you, as well as a mystery gift, and a lot of people are participating with this. The May Scription will feature armchair travel, and the June Scription will feature beach reads. So if you are interested in having some books pre-selected for you that you might be interested in, check this out. And that concludes my report.
Thank you for your report. Are there any petitions?
Excuse me, Mayor. I just wanted to be able, like, the Park and Rec wasn't noted on the agenda, and we have a report.
Oh,
May I
okay.
use that one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, reporting on from the Park and Rec Commission meeting on April 22nd. Minutes are on the website. With spring finally here, there's lots going on with the Park and Rec. So as of April 15th, Park and Rec activity signups have almost matched the signups for all of 2021. So congratulations on the Park and Rec for doing and keeping these activities fresh and relevant. Pickleball Leagues will be starting May 9th. A new donation box has been placed at Washington Park's splash pad. We're hoping to work with finance to be able to find a way to be able to integrate Venmo to increase donations. We figured that might help a lot. Clean the Creek is set for Saturday, May 7th. Volunteers can sign up at the Fox Wolf Watershed Cleanup website. Meet at Urban Dolly Park at 9 a.m. Walkers, kayakers, and canoers are needed. Flatgrass Soccer Tournament is being held this weekend at Memorial Park. There'll be over 160 teams. I believe that's a record this year from throughout the Midwest, so they'll be converging on Neenah. Riverside Players tickets are on sale now. The DNR, good news, has approved the pier design for Arrowhead Park. And then demo on the old fountain at Shattuck Park is complete, and the construction of the new water feature is underway. So that concludes my report.
Thank you for your report. There were not any petitions. Are there any council directives? Any unfinished business? Alderman Skirms.
2 items, Mayor. One, have we had any applicants for District 3 yet? Just curious.
I actually had that on my new business as an item to discuss.
Okay, I'll wait. The other item is the bird scooters. Just a clarification on your comment, education, signage. My wife and I were coming back from dinner downtown and experienced 3 young ladies on the sidewalk, in my wife's term, zooming past with the comment, "These go a lot faster than the other ones." I know that Bird isn't going to do anything about signage, but how's that going to work? Or do we have to refine the satellite to get them tuned in that they can't be on the sidewalk and they need to be in the street?
If I can add,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not sure what you mean by signage, if you can.
No scooters on the sidewalk.
Yes, so coincidentally, the scooters, when you look at them, if you step on one, it says, "Don't ride on the sidewalks."
Well, they
It says
may
for-
not have been literate customers.
But they can read their credit card.
But the geofencing isn't accurate enough to allow them on the street but not on the sidewalk.
Oh, really? I thought
No.
the guy that was out here in the parking lot said they refined that for Appleton. Fix that.
I don't think so. I can ask. We can ask. They're not, our ordinance doesn't allow, just like the bikes, doesn't
Yeah.
allow them in the downtown. So that, it's like the bikes. There's an ordinance,
Yep.
and how we're going to enforce that, that's a PD issue and probably a low priority. But clearly, if we start to have issues, we'll have to do something.
My concern is more about awareness, no, don't do it, than enforcement.
Yeah. Well, the thing the thought
don't
that
have
goes
to
through
answer
my
that.
head is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And, those things are really challenging. The app, in addition to as an example, when I look at the app, the Bird app, it identifies very clearly on there where you should and shouldn't be. And as noted, the sidewalk is one of those places. Now, you can ride them on the sidewalks everywhere else in the city,
Right,
so that is a
right.
little
That's why it's-
confusing. So we'll have to, again, trial program, we'll have to continue to monitor that.
Okay.
Alderman Erickson?
Thank you. I thought when they presented this at the meeting, they said that the speed would be automatically reduced on Wisconsin Avenue so that they couldn't go up to a high rate of speed on the avenue even if they tried.
Yeah, I think they're still at, sorry, distracted. They are regulated, and we can confirm this as well, down to 12 miles an hour, which is still, walking speed's 3 miles an hour. So there is still a significant difference there.
But I thought they could adjust it or somehow adjust it.
They can go, if you go, it's a balance, so they can go lower. When you, even the lowest speed they suggest, though, is probably 5 to 6 miles an hour, which after that they get difficult to ride. The inertia, the forward momentum just it gets difficult. And then it's one of those things we're going to have to watch, right? If we choose to go lower, we can do that, but then it does diminish the quality of the ride, I guess I would say, right? And so as you all know, I have ridden them, right? When you get in traffic, if you will, particularly pedestrian traffic, you can back off the throttle and slow down yourself, which is what most people do. Kind of like your car, right? But when you get out on the open road, so to speak, you can go that 12 to 18 miles an hour. So it is a balancing act that we're going to have to continue to monitor.
Just a question or suggestion possibly. What is the repository for complaints or observations? Is that the bird guy, or is that within city?
Yeah.
I mean, somehow we ought to be tracking or...
So we have, I suspect there are, well, certainly they can call the city, right? And they do. And I would imagine any one of probably 4 departments, PD, our office, Public Works, and probably the mayor's office would maybe Park and Rec, but those would be the primary ones. We haven't had, I shouldn't say we haven't had any. We've had a call or two, but most have been clarification of, I saw an abandoned scooter in the park. Well, they can actually park them there, so it's not abandoned. That type of thing. And then the bird has the app right on their app, the ability to provide to receive any kind of issues. Scooter has the website on it as well, but obviously you'd have to be able to knock the guy off his scooter and get the website before you could.
I just want to make sure we got a feedback loop, because this is trial, and there'll be a few one-offs that aren't going to play by the rules.
My perspective is it's been a little early. I mean, they certainly have been used, but we have not hit the peak of the of the season.
Thank you.
Alderman Borchert, did you have a question? Okay. Who is that? Oh, you had. Oh no, Alderman Steiner.
Good. I just, the older people of the 2nd District were contacted in regards to private business signs being put up around public property around the city. And I thought maybe it just might be an opportunity to talk about what the rules or, requirements of that. My understanding is they should be taken out and discarded. Basically, people are not supposed to be putting private business signs.
So what I just told another alderman, if it's on park property or right-of-way, you can take it out.
Okay.
You can take them out and throw them away.
Yeah, anyone can, because it's city property or right-of-way. If it's in someone's lawn and it shouldn't be there, then community development.
Yeah, the one thing I would, if you see them, and usually when there's a proliferation of them, I said that right? Proliferation, thank you. We will know about it, but if we'd still like a call, because we will call, a company like Mosquitoes Inc. or whatever it is and tell them, look, you can't do this. And if we see them again, we're going to follow up with citation. And a lot of times that takes care of it. So I can tell you there has been a long history, and I wish I would have kept every type of sign that I have pulled in 30 years, because it would almost fill this room. But they have been, it goes in this cycle, right? There was the weight loss, there was the mattresses, there was, we buy your houses, their mosquito thing. It goes on and on. So the answer is yes, Adam tells me.
Thank you.
Alderman Borchert.
Chris, along that lines, when it comes to political signs, not that I want to see another political sign for a long time, but it's, what is the ordinance about doing? Just for for starting.
So the state law says that from the day that papers can be circulated for an election until the day of the election, we can't regulate it. So papers for the fall election are already able to be circulated. So fall election is fair game. As many as they want, we can't regulate.
I just want
We can in the right of way, though. If they're in the right of way, that's no goal.
I think we were still under unfinished business. Is there anything else? Nobody, new business. I did want to bring up, we are seeking to fill the aldermanic position for the 3rd district. We've had 2 applicants, I believe, so far, so if you are aware of anybody who would be interested in that, we would appreciate your help in spreading the word to any interested residents. Alderman Borchert.
Is there, is the aldermanic districts redrawn, updated? I think, I just want to make sure there was some, but went there. Good.
The other item that I wanted to mention is that Police Week is being recognized next week. So please be aware of that and join me in expressing gratitude for all of our Neenah Police Department for all they do for us. Each and every day, we're very grateful for all they do. Alderman Boyette.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind everyone that National Puppy Day is May 27th this year, and I would like to let all the citizens know that Puppy Days for Neenah are the 27th and 28th. So when you see your veterans out there trying to get their donations for their puppies, thank them for their service.
And she's saying poppies, not puppies.
Yeah, we don't want puppies.
Thank you.
No puppies.
I wasn't aware of
None.
that.
Puppies.
We signed the Poppy Proclamation this week, so that was great.
Yeah, great. And thank you for doing that.
Is there any, yeah, Alderman Nilstrom.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank the Park and Rec Department for Touch a Truck was this morning, and there was, again, hundreds of children out there, and it was just a great day.
Alderman Stevens.
Yeah, I was just going to update. I did have 3 potential candidates for the 3rd aldermanic district contact me, and I know one of them has submitted their paperwork. I'm not sure who the second one was, so there were at least 3 people that reached out to me.
Good.
Alderman Skirms.
Saw the memo, a note about the HR director. What's status, process? Where are we in timeline for that?
Yep, so the job is being posted this week, today or tomorrow. We would anticipate by beginning to mid-August is when the person would be implemented. It'll be a hiring committee led by Mayor Lang. This is a mayoral hire as opposed to a council hire position, but Mayor Lang has indicated that there will be most likely a council representative and input from the council on this position hire.
Okay, I was just curious timing. Thank you.
And we are bringing that item to committee on Monday as well.
Correct, it's on finance on Monday.
Any other new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.